Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Guys, good morning.
Got on my icy blue day.
Yes,
I
you
cannot believe that you sold out. You betrayed your hometown Atlanta Hawks by picking Giannis's Milwaukee Bucks to win the Eastern Conference Finals. You're going to be wrong again, and I'm so sorry you did this.
You tried to prevent me from being able to go back home. I know what you're trying to do.
I think you just did that to yourself.
Nah, you did that. You brought that up.
Come on, Shannon. You got to sit with your hometown team. Guys, stop me if you've heard this before, but Trae Young and the Hawks came up with another big upset win last night, beating Giannis and the Bucks 116-113 in Milwaukee. Ice Trae was on fire, dropping a playoff career high 48 points to go with 11 assists. And Hawks coach Nate McMillan put it bluntly after the game, saying, quote, he just has the skill that top players have in this league. He really doesn't have a weakness on the offensive end of the floor. So, Shannon, was last night simply Trae Young outplaying Giannis?
No, because, Skip, I don't really think it's that simple. And I love what Nate McMillan said, Skip. He didn't do all that hyperbole. He's the best point guard in the game. Because we see that a lot of time with coaches, Skip. They got to play, have a good game, and he's the best in the game. He said, no. He has the skill set of all the top players have.
He did.
He has no weakness in his offensive game. He's one of the better players. He didn't go all the way. He's the best point guard. With that being said, Skip, Trae Young was spectacular. He got it going early, and he kept it going throughout the entirety of the game. But when you look at what he got, Skip, he got 23 and 15 from John Collins. He got 12 and 19 from Clint Capella. He got another 13 from Herter. So his supporting...
Wait, say that again. He got 19 rebounds from Clint Capella.
That's what Capella does. It's the 23 and 15 from John Collins.
Huge.
So,
agreed.
And they out-rebounded him again. So you get, 34 rebounds from two guys. And Trae Young is doing what he does. Again, 48 and 11, Skip. 72 points, the most ever in a divisional or conference finals game. That speaks volume to what they're doing.
I'd say.
But the difference in the ball game, Skip, it wasn't, Trae outplaying Giannis. Chris Middleton had a dud again, Skip. 6 of 23, 2 of 11 in the second half. He had 6 points in the second half. He was 0 for what? 0 for 7, 0 for 9? 0 for 9 from the three-point line. Skip, you can't do that. He is their second best player. Skip, he is this all-star. He's the guy that's going to represent America in the Olympics. And he put up a game like this? You can't have that. Holiday was sensational offensively.
He was.
But, Skip, Trae had his way with him on the defensive end.
He did.
Yeah, I did not see this coming. Anybody that says, well, they saw this coming, they're lying. True Holiday is as good as we got as on-ball defender.
He is.
And Trae Young went and got 48. He gave it to him. He gave it to Middleton. Whomever.
He did.
Skip, I think Bud's going to have to do something. He's going to have to make a decision. I understand that Brook Lopez has been a valuable piece for the regular season. But, Skip, he's giving you nothing in the playoffs. He's sinking too far into the lane, and he's letting Trae Young get in the head of steam, and he can't stop that floater. Or he's sunk so deep is that Trae, why you think Trae had an opportunity to shimmy on him and hit that three?
And by the way, he's got to give you 3 or 4 threes because that's what he does, and he was 1 of 4. So that's not good enough, okay?
And then what did he give you on the rebounding tip, Skip?
2?
I was giving the man 7 foot tall.
7 foot tall. And remember, his team led the East in rebounding, and they got crushed on the board.
They got beat on the boards. Yep. So with that being said, Skip, I thought Giannis was unbelievable, Skip. He did what we asked him to do. Giannis, stop shooting all those threes. He shot 1 in the first minute of the game. He shot 1 at the end of the half. So he only attempted 2 threes. Everything else, Skip, 20 of his 25 shots came within the paint. And down the stretch, the last 5.5 minutes, he's 5 of 5, 12 points. And he did, Paul George, you got 24 hours to respond to Giannis going 2 for 2 when it mattered the most on the free throw line. You got to respond tonight, Paul George. We're going to be watching. So for me, Skip, I thought the difference in the ball game is that Middleton, the supporting cast, Holiday gave you 33. Giannis gave you 33. Almost a triple-double. He's 1 assist away from a triple-double. But Chris Middleton, 6 of 23, 15 points, 6 in the second half. That won't get it done. And somebody's going to have to explain something to me. Why in the hell they keep shooting all these threes? Skip, I get it. In the regular season, they were a good three-point shooting team. They shot 39%. But in the playoffs, this is the 3rd round of the playoffs, they're shooting 30%. When you got 70 points in the paint, you can get in the paint at will. And you still jack it up 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. At some point in time, Bud, you know what, just pull him aside and say, look here, guys, I know what we did in the regular season, but right now we can't seem to find our stroke. Let's get the ball down in the paint. Let's punish him down in the paint. Giannis can get to the rim anytime he wants to. Holiday's getting to the rim whenever he wants to. Stop jacking up all these threes, because you jack up these threes, you allowed Atlanta to hang around. They caught fire in the second half, and they ended up beating you. But, Skip, I don't really think it was as simple as Trae doing a number on Giannis, because Giannis did what we thought he would do. I think you had his stat line at 35 and 12. I had it at 30 and 12, and he gave us 33 and 12 and 9. So he was sensational. But Trae Young, Skip, that other guy, yeah, he growing on you. You liking him now? Like, yeah, you liking him now.
I will admit that this little man who stopped growing very early in his life is growing on me by the game, because he's growing through the Eastern Conference Finals. And now that they have a leg up for the third straight series, they're only the fourth team in the history of this league to go on the road and win a game one. Remember, they've been the lower seed every round. They were low. They were the 5 to the 4 Knicks, right?
5 to the 1.
And then 5 to the 1 and 5 to the 3. Now, and they went on the road and won 3 straight games. And yet, before I launch on all that I am going to say, allow me to say from a distance, these playoffs just get greater and greater every night. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do not miss LeBron James. I don't miss him. And again, I love talking about LeBron on a daily basis. We probably talked about LeBron more than anybody on TV has over the last 5 years. But the point is that like a star was born last night.
Yes, Skip. You get to see a Trae Young that you wouldn't normally see. You getting to see a Devin Booker. You getting to see guys make name for themselves.
And I'm going to frame this by telling you that Trae Young played one game, and only one game, against Milwaukee during this past regular season, and it came on April the 15th, and it was at State Farm in Atlanta. And in that game, Trae Young shot 3 of 17 and 0 of 3 from the three-point line, and they lost. Well, you know, again, we just got the flip side of that, because we got 48 points on, what was he, 17 to 34?
17 to 34.
Okay. Not a great three-point shooting night, because he's not a great three-point shooter, 4 of 13. But back to Jenny's question, I believe that in the end, for all the things, and every point you made was valid, but in the end, down the stretch, the difference in the game was that little David slayed Goliath. That's just me. I think Trae Young outplayed Giannis down the stretch of this game. What are you looking at?
I don't know, Skip.
Okay, well, I'm about to detail it for you. Because let's step back. If you look at the total fourth quarter output, Trae Young was 1 of 7 from the floor. 1 of 7, really? Well, that's not very good.
No.
He was 0 of 4 from 3 in the fourth quarter. Yet we're saying a star is born in Milwaukee, right? And he was born last night, but let's count the ways. You got to look inside these numbers and go a little bit deeper to the next category over, which is free throw shooting. He made 9 of 10. And if somebody put Paul George on notice last night, it was not Giannis, it was Trae Young. So what happened? What did you see on your TV? You got a much better TV than I. I got to get mine fixed or upgraded or so. I don't know.
Well,
I'm waiting on a sale at somewhere, Best Buy, I guess, right? I got to get a color TV. But the point is, with 4:18 left in this basketball game, 4:18, the home team was up 7 points thanks to Drew Holiday 3. He made another 3. He was the only one shooting the basketball last night, right? He played well enough for them to win. Well, if I give the home team, who goes into the game as an 8-point favorite over the little Atlanta Hawks, if I give you a 7-point lead as an 8-point favorite at home with 4:18 left, what should happen?
I thought they were going to run.
Well, I mean, you got to slam the door, right? That game should be over. Instead, little Trae's Hawks went on an 18-8 run to close the game. 18-8. Okay, so let's see what happened over those last 4 minutes to the 2 superstars. I don't know if I'm going to go Trae superstar. Let's say the 2 stars on the court. Giannis went 2 of 2 from the floor because he dunked it twice. He had 2 dunks. He didn't make any shots or threes or jumpers or anything. He had 2 dunks. He went to the free throw line this one time, and guess what? He made both of them. You could argue he should have missed the second one because they were in jeopardy at that point of losing.
Right.
But he did make his 2 free throws. So that's a grand total of 6 points.
Right.
But he did not assert himself down the stretch to my eye. If he's that guy, if he's a 2-time MVP and the PER prince of this league, player efficiency rating, he just